grab your popcorn and get ready to release that inner philosopher. Because today, we're visiting r/am Iva Butthole, an absolutely amazing place where you get to decide whether someone was right or wrong. So warm up your fingers, because I want every single one of you to tell me who you think the butthole was in this story. And with that said, let's get straight into the video. Am I the butthole for giving my son approximately $15,000 when he turned 18 and moved out, but refuse to give the same amount to my daughter? My 19-year-old daughter Vanessa called me this morning and told me that her girlfriend proposed to her and wants her to move to her apartment. Now for context, my daughter met this woman online and they've never even seen each other besides a few quick weekend visits. Moreover, they've only dated for a little more than a year. I told her I was happy for her, but then politely expressed my reservations, but I maintained that she was an adult and that it was ultimately her decision. The problem lies when Vanessa asked me for money. You see, when her older brother moved out and went to college, I decided to give him a little $500 a month stipend so he doesn't have to worry about food. He managed to get a scholarship to cover the rest of his educational costs, so it was just the small expected parent contribution and his living expenses. That, combined with the money he saved during the summers, made it so he didn't have to work at all during the school year. Since I gave him $500 a month every month his university was in session, that amounted to around $16,000. I told Vanessa that I was going to do the same when she moves out and goes to school. Now she says that she's moving out and that college was on the back burner for her. Her girlfriend will support them. She's 23, already graduated, and works in IT. She says now she's not going to school, she'd rather take a lump sum, or give her $500 a month too, and just not get anything if she goes to school. I told her I cannot stop her from moving, but that money is for supporting her education only. If and when she realizes that this is a mistake and decides to go to school, or even if she decides to go to school when she's married, I'll be happy to contribute the money. But it's not just a free handout. She got really mad that I rejected her and accused me of favoring her brother. To her credit, her brother and I have a closer relationship. He's always been the studious rule follower, while Vanessa was more of a troublemaker. But I do love my children equally. I told her at the end of the day that it was an educational stipend. If she feels like she has the independence to move out with her fiance, then she has the independence to get a job and work for her own money. That if she ever wants to go to school at any point of her life, I will fully support it financially. Well, we argued back and forth before she angrily hung up on me and told my wife. My wife thinks that we should give her something, but I told her that my thinking is that this relationship will fail, and I'd rather keep the $15,000 as an emergency blanket for if and when she has to move back home. I don't want her to think I support this decision. She told me she sorta saw my point, but she's not going to help me unravel this mess with my Vanessa. She's staying out of it. I, on the other hand, think she's acting like a spoiled brat. Am I the butthole for sticking to my guns on this? I, on my part, think that OP is not the butthole in this story. The $500 a month he would give to his son was clearly educational and clearly to support him while he was studying. But at the same time, while I think Vanessa here is being very entitled, asking for a lump sum, I also think that OP should support her in her decision to move out and go try something different. But once again, these are only my thoughts. Each one of us can judge these stories, so make sure to tell me what you think down below. And if you liked this first story, this was just the first of many, so make sure to scroll down, subscribe to the channel, and hit that like button. And with that said, let's just continue the stories. Am I the butthole for writing a song that was blatantly about my ex-girlfriend and her cheating on me, then naming the song after her? I'm in a pretty small-time local band, working hard to change that, but you know. But we do have a decent following in and around our hometown. My girlfriend was an integral part of our band and was essentially our manager, until I found out she was passionately hugging her boss at Chili's. It took me about 2 minutes to write a song about it, and over the last 2 weekends, it's become our most popular song to play at our small club gigs. However, since the song is called Jessica, and a major hook is about a girl cheating with the bloke at the restaurant, everyone knows it's about her. She found out, she stopped by, and she was so mad at me. I told her she shouldn't have cheated. She said, F you. I still care about her and have something of a conscience left, so I'm asking here, was that a butthole thing to do? Oh yes, and the top comment here says that it's pretty normal for musicians to be inspired by their lives, and now that I think about it, there's a lot of songs out there where musicians use breakups as sort of inspiration. And while I think this was a sort of a butthole-y thing to do, I sort of feel that OP was justified in doing this. So I do guess I'll go with not the butthole for this one, but by a very slim margin, and I would like some more information and some background. Am I the butthole for banning fast food from the house because of my diet? Y'all, I used to be 430 pounds, and over the last 6 months, I've lost nearly 160. I'm the smallest I've ever been in my adult life, and I'm loving it. My husband and I have been married 7 years, and he's been super duper supportive and loving and encouraging, but he's also on the husky side, and the man loves his fast food every week or so. I've been craving McDonald's, KFC, all that gorgeous, greasy, fatty goodness, and because my diet is doing so well, I put a blanket ban on all fast food in the house. At first, my man was 100% for it and told me whatever made my life easy. But for the last month or so, he's been wanting to get fast food, and I've told him he's welcome to go eat out or in the car, but it's not coming in the house. He's been getting frustrated with me and said it's his house too, and he should be allowed to eat KFC without me telling him no. In fairness to him, he's respected the rule, and I know for a fact he's not snuck it in the house. I love him and really do feel bad, but my friends are really encouraging and keep telling me he needs to deal with it. Am I really a monster? Should I just relent and let him get the occasional fast food? Look, I've got to be honest, I am sort of undecided on this one. Because these people, they definitely came up with an agreement and they said no fast food inside the house, and the husband, he completely agreed with this. He completely agreed to this. But then reading through the comments, Reddit seems to think that this poster was the butthole because it is their shared house. So her husband has every right to get fast food. So I don't know, I'm undecided on this one. So maybe you can sway my thoughts down in the comments below. Tell me what you think and we'll see what happens. Would I be the butthole if I didn't buy my 16-year-old sister a new Juul? And for reference, a Juul is a type of e-cigarette, sort of like a vape, if that makes things any easier. I'm 25 and female, and live across the country from my family. I'm wrapping up a week-long visit home now, and up until this point, it had been really, really nice. On Monday, I had a free morning and wanted to be helpful, so I did some laundry. As I was putting a load into the washing machine, my younger sister came in with some clothes that she said she wanted cleaned ASAP. I had no problem with that, so I took them to add to the current load. While hanging everything up, I noticed that there was a battered Juul in the bottom of the washer. I pulled it out and brought it to my sister, figuring it was hers. As soon as I told her that it had gone through a wash cycle, she got really annoyed and asked if I'd gone through the pockets before I washed her stuff. I admitted I hadn't. After that, she was even more annoyed and upset. She said since I ruined the Juul, it was on me to buy her a whole new one and a pack of new pods. Here's why I'm not sure if my position is right or not. I said no, absolutely not. That not only was it on her to keep track of her possessions, but that it was absolutely illegal for her to even own one, and that I wouldn't do something technically illegal to replace it for her. At this point, she was crying and yelling really loudly, so our mum came in to ask what was up. We each related what had happened. Then, mum turned to me and told me that if I was going to cause issues between us, I needed to be the bigger person and replace the Juul. That a sisterly relationship is more important than a silly little toy. I told her what a Juul actually is and the legalities involved, but she cut me off to say that didn't make a difference, and it was the principle of the matter that dictated I should replace it. I said, well, what if I take her shopping and spend the equivalent amount? My sister cut in and said, I don't want anything you're only spending $50 on. And I said something snarky about definitely not buying her a Juul in that case, because that's what they cost. By then, my mum had about had it, and told me that it's on me to make this right, that I can choose to be a goody two-shoes and damage the relationship with my sister, or suck it up and fix this. I've refused, and as a result, this vacation has become incredibly tense. My sister won't speak to me more than a word or two, and my mum is mysteriously super busy when we were supposed to have plans. She already took off work for them, so I know she's just being petty about this. My flight is on Saturday, so I have another couple days to endure this if I'm gonna stand my ground. Am I really the butthole here? Wow, if anything, this is a case of entitled parents, because buying a new jewel is basically like buying her sister a pack of cigarettes. And I'm guessing the mum doesn't actually know what a jewel is, and maybe she's been led to believe that it's just some kind of toy or something that's completely useless. Though having had a read through the comments, I think the best solution to this problem would be for OP to sort of cave in and say, alright, let's go and we'll get this together. And basically walk into like a tobacco shop, get a jewel and hand it to her sister in front of her mum, and see what she then thinks about it. And if that still doesn't change her mum's decision, well, I would be seriously concerned. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was r/am I the butthole. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. And if this video gets, let's say, 10 likes, then I'll know you guys are loving it and I'll make sure to make more. But for now guys, that's it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later guys.